Okay, good morning. Now we are going to discuss the section number 152 of the Companies Act 2013, which deals with appointment of directors. Most important section and some bigger section, so concentrate. Appointment of directors. Normally, unless otherwise prescribed, unless otherwise prescribed in the other sections of the Companies Act 2013, normally, directors are appointed by shareholders in general meeting unless otherwise prescribed under other sections of the Companies Act. The directors of the company are appointed in general meeting by the shareholders. Normally, there are certain category of directors. First director, who subsequent directors, rotational director, non-rotational director, independent director, nominee director, director appointed in casual vacancy director, additional director, alternate director. These are the category of directors. Normally, in this particular section 152, we will deal with appointment of directors, normal directors, appointment of directors. Directors here being first director, subsequent director, rotational and non-rotational directors. We will deal in section 152. Normally, as said earlier, directors are normally appointed by shareholders in general meeting unless otherwise prescribed under other sections of the Companies Act 2013. Normally, when you start a company, you need to have shareholders and directors. Shareholders and directors. So, before incorporation of a company, you can't held a general meeting. You can't hold a general meeting and appoint directors before incorporation of a company. So, at the time of incorporation of a company, when you prepare the memorandum of association and the articles of association, you will mention the certain persons' names as directors in the memorandum of association of a company. Memorandum of association of a company, you will mention in the articles of association of a company, you will mention certain persons names as directors in the articles of association of a company, normally being the subscribers to the memorandum also will be there, and certain persons can also be named in the articles of association of a company. Now, who are these first directors being? Appointment of first directors. First part, appointment of first directors. Normally, normally at the time of incorporation of a company, you will mention certain persons' names as directors in the articles of association of a company. That directors are called as first directors. What if you don't mention the persons' names, if you don't mention the director names in the articles of association of the company, then then the subscribers to the memorandum, the subscribers to the memorandum are called as first directors of the company. Not all subscribers to the memorandum. Subscribers to the memorandum being individuals. That means only individual to be a director. Only individual to be a director. And the subscribers to the memorandum being individuals are called as first directors. When 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 no director names are mentioned in the articles of association of a company, then the subscribers to the memorandum are called as first directors. What if the names are not mentioned in the articles of association of a company and all the subscribers to the memorandum are not individuals? Then the company will won't have first directors. The first company won't have first directors until appointed by the company. Until appointed by the company won't have first directors. Normally, these first directors will held their office till the general meeting. That is till the general meeting. When you go through this section, you will find, you see here, in simple words, usually articles of association contain the names of first directors. In case it is not so, then the individual subscribers to the memorandum are deemed to be the first directors. First directors. The corporate bodies, if they are also subscribers, shall not be capable of becoming director. That means only individual to be a director. The first director shall hold office until the directors are duly appointed. That means normally directors are appointed in the general meeting, annual general meeting. Till then, these first directors will hold office in the company. When no provision is made in the articles of a company for the appointment of first director, then subscribers of the memorandum who are individuals shall be deemed to be the first directors of the company until the directors are duly appointed. Next, subsequent directors. Subsequent, unless otherwise expressly provided, normally directors are appointed in general meeting. That will be there in this. Save as otherwise expressly provided in this Act, every director shall be appointed by the company in general meeting. At a general meeting, the shareholders of the company gather and take decisions. Generally, every director shall be appointed by the company in general meeting, except where the Companies Act expressly provided some other procedure. That some other procedure we will deal in further sections. Okay, now I am one of the person. I want to be the director in a company. What should be there? What are the minimum qualification, minimum requirements I should have to become a director? That sorry. First, I need to have director. That means DIN. I need to apply for director identification. That application need to be made to the central government, and central government will give approval of director approval and allot a unique DIN. The DIN is universal, and one person have only one DIN. If you have more than one DIN, you need to surrender. That we will go through in further. And after allotment of the DIN, you need to inform the DIN to the company. And first, first to become a director, first you need to give the consent of your appointment. That consent that you want to become a director in the company. That consent you need to make to the company. The director, I am the director. I am not the director. I want to become the director. If I want to become the director in a particular company, I need to make my consent that I am I want to become director in your particular company. Like that, I need to give my consent. Written consent to act as a director. And in case of in case of an independent director, the explanatory statement should be also provided. And these exceptions, that explanatory statement in case of an appointment of an independent director is not applicable to a government company where appointment of the director is done by the central government, and to the Section 8 company. Now, retirement of directors by rotation, normally called as rotational directors. What is this rotational directors? To identify the efficiency and inefficiency of the directors, certain number of directors are liable to retire by rotation in every year. In every general meeting, certain number of directors are liable to retire by rotation. Why this rotation concept means to identify the inefficiency of the director. This concept was introduced. Okay. Whether can all the directors be retired by rotation? Answer is yes. But what is the minimum number of directors liable to retire by rotation? Liable to, not all will retire. Liable to retire. Liable to retire by rotation. Normally, normally not less than two-third of the total number of directors liable to retire by rotation. If there are 10 directors, not less than two-third, fraction also, fraction of that two-third convertible into 1, not less than two-third of the total number of directors liable to retire by rotation. If there are 10 directors in a company, 7 directors liable to retire by rotation, not less than two-third of the total number of directors liable to retire by rotation. In this two-third of the total number of directors, one-third of the total number of directors will retire. Two-third of the total number of directors are rotational directors. Two-third of the total number of directors are liable to retire by rotation, normally called rotational directors. In these two-thirds, one-third of the total number of directors will retire at every AGM. After the retirement also, the company can reappoint that retiring director. There is no ban of that. There is no, the company can retire. The company can reappoint that retiring director. Section 152(6) deals with retirement of directors by rotation. The reason behind incorporation of such provision is the statute is that no stage as self-perpetuating management should take control of the company. Under the model of self-perpetuating management, the board of directors is allowed to control its own composition. That is, such board can dictate the terms like how long a director can serve, and even it can elect and re-elect directors itself. This type of model may not be conducive to the healthy growth of the company. In effect, shareholders are the owners of the company, but they cannot usurp the powers of the directors and interfere in the matters of managing the company. The concept of rotational directors enables them not to re-elect a retiring director from whom they have an unfavorable opinion against a particular director. If they have an unfavorable opinion, that director will not be reappointed. Appointment of rotational director, number of directors. Unless the articles provide for the retirement of all directors at every annual general meeting, not less than two-thirds of the total number of directors of the company shall be persons whose period of office is liable to determination by retirement of directors by rotation. Save as otherwise expressly provided in this Act, be appointed by the company in general meeting. Appointment of non-rotational. The two-thirds of the not less than two-thirds of the total number of directors are rotational directors, and the remaining directors are non-rotational directors. You can go through this. This is the concept, and you can check the calculation also. Filling of vacancy of rotational director. If the annual general meeting at which the director retires, the company may fill up the vacancy by appointing the retiring director or such other person. The retiring director can also be reappointed, and in place of that retiring director, other directors can be appointed. There is a filling of vacancy of the rotational director. But there is some concept of deemed reappointment of the retiring director. When this deemed reappointment applies means when you held an AGM, you held a general meeting. In that particular general meeting, two-thirds of the total number of directors liable to retire by rotation. In that two-thirds, one-third should retire. The meeting, in the particular meeting, the retirement discussion has not come. That means see here, the retirement discussion has not come, then that particular retiring director shall be deemed to be reappointed. In that general meeting, the retirement discussion has not come. That meeting has adjourned. In adjourned general meeting also the same discussion has not come. Then that retiring director shall be deemed to be reappointed. You see here, if the vacancy of the retiring director is not so filled up, and that not so filled up means providing expressly that other director shall be appointed. That discussion has not come. Providing expressly that other director will be appointed. That discussion has not come here. Okay. See here, I told you before that general meeting cannot be held on national holidays. Board meeting can be held on national holidays, but adjourned board meeting will not be held in national holiday. Here it is, you can go through here. In case that day is a national holiday, the meeting shall be adjourned till the next succeeding day, which is not a holiday. This is the deemed reappointment, and there are some exceptions for the deemed reappointment. Like, that meeting has discussed that the retiring director shall not be reappointed. One such condition, deemed reappointment does not apply here. The retiring director, about that retiring director, in general meeting, the shareholders has discussed about that retiring director. What they discussed means that retiring director shall not be reappointed.